Hi guys, so in this video we will be talking about the market creation. Okay, so most people find it hard to stand out. They just follow what everyone else is doing. So here's the shift. Instead of following, you need to create your own market, your own niche. Focus on one thing, be different, and give people something only you can give. When you do that, you are not fighting for space in a crowded market anywhere. You're building your own space and leading it. And that is what we call market creation. So let's talk about three situations. Number one, you are starting a business and you don't even know which market to enter. Number two could be maybe you are already running a business, but you feel stuck. You feel like you are doing the same thing as everyone else around you and no real difference. Number three, you could have a product or a service, it's good, but you have no idea how to build a market around it. So here's exactly where to start. Step number one, look at what's happening right now. So before you create anything, look at your market exactly as it is today. Ask yourself, what are people in your space doing right now? Say you sell shoes. How are other people selling shoes today? What type of shoes are trending? What's the newest thing happening in that space right now? This tells you how the market is behaving towards your product. And here's the important part. This is not your idea yet. This is just information. This is just a context. Context comes first, your idea comes after that. Make sense? So, there's very good example, these two. Oatly. So Oatly was a oat milk brand. Oat milk was already becoming popular in small specialty cafes. They didn't invent that trend. They just noticed it early and then built a big consumer brand around it. Same goes for HubSpot. HubSpot noticed something too. Cold calling was losing its power, so people had already started researching things on their own online before ever talking to a salesperson. So HubSpot built an entirely new idea around that shift. They called it inbound marketing. Notice the pattern. Both companies didn't invent a new behavior. They simply watched where people's behavior was already moving and built on top of it. Find what the customers wants the most. Now that you understand the market, the next step is understanding your customer's biggest desire. Every customer wants three things. One, a functional desire. What do they actually need? Something to save time, something to make more money, or something to get better results. Two could be an emotional desire. How do they want to feel? Confident, at peace, excited. How do they want others to see them? Successful, respected, a leader. Most people connect strongly with just one of these three. Find that one, and that becomes your entry point. So a very good example of this is Peloton. Functionally, it gives you a real workout at home. Emotionally, it feels motivating and it keeps you moving, and socially it makes you look disciplined and driven. So Peloton is a very famous brand out of US. Okay, now another example could be Slack, which a lot of us use. So Slack, functionally it means less emails and saves time. Emotionally it means less stress and more clarity, and socially it makes your team look fast and modern. Same idea in both cases, one product, but three completely different reasons people might want it. Your job is to find which reason matters most to the people you are trying to reach. Next step is, now that you have your category, so at this point, you know what your customers wants and you know what's trending right now. Put those together and that's your category. But here's the real question people ask. What if someone else is already serving that exact desire? Simple answer, don't try to beat them at their own game. Instead, look for a piece of that desire that nobody else is using. That could be a different angle, a functional instead of emotional, or emotional instead of social. It could be a narrower gap of people you focus on, or it could be a belief nobody else has said out loud. Take home fitness as an example. Peloton owns the emotional angle of life classes, motivation, energy. You could instead use the functional angle, quick, effective strength workouts for busy people. Or someone else could own the social angle, a fitness community built around the inclusivity for every body type. So, as you can see, same base desire, three completely different spaces, and that's how a real category gets created. A very good example of this is Liquid Death. So Liquid Death's base desire is hydration, same as every other brand. Most brands focus on the functional angle, which is clean, healthy water. Liquid Death instead grabbed the social angle, which is rebellion, standing out, not fitting in. That single choice created a brand new category, canned water for rebels. Now they are not really competing with Evian. They are competing with the beer and energy drinks. Same goes for Salesforce. Salesforce base desire is managing customer relationship. Most companies at the time sold expensive, complicated software you had to install yourself. Salesforce created a new category. Software as a service runs entirely in the cloud. That one shift changes how the entire industry thinks about buying CRM tools. Now we move to positioning. Now ask yourself three questions in this exact order. One, what problem or desire do you want to own in your customer's mind? You want to be the first brand they think of. Next step, who is this for? Know their identity, know what they value, know what they believe in. 3. What's your real advantage? Your USP. Here's the key thing. You usually don't invent this, you discover it. It's often already sitting somewhere in the research you have already done. Now we build a brand word. This has two parts and both needs to match each other perfectly. The visual side, typography, logo, color, website, art direction. And on the verbal side, it's more about tone, slogan, the words you use, the stories you tell. When these two works together seamlessly, you get one strong, consistent brand. Something that looks, sounds, and feels the same everywhere your customer encounters it. A good example of this is again Liquid Death. Look at Liquid Death's visual identity. It's very heavy metal style, skulls, black and bold, rebellious. Now look at their verbal tone. Cheeky, bold, a little rude. Their tagline says it all. Don't be scared. It's just water. Murder your thirst. Now compare that to MailChimp. Visually, playful drawings, friendly shapes, bold, yellow. Verbally, it's simple words, helpful, a little funny, deliberately not corporate. In both cases, if you remove either the visuals or the words, the brand falls apart. You need to go deeper. This is where the cultural part of the brand comes into. Now we go even deeper, beyond the product into identity and belief. Ask three questions. What does the brand believe in? What does it stand for? And what's the bigger cultural idea behind it? Take, for example, Nike. They believe every human has a potential and greatness isn't reserved for a few people. What they stand for is courage, determination, pushing your limits. Their cultural idea is we are all athletes. Nike doesn't really sell shoes. It sells a belief that people aren't just buying a product from Nike. They're buying into who they want to become. Here's the difference in one line. Brand sells products. Cultural brands changes how people see themselves. Now let's talk about creating demand. There are three levels. Level 1, existing demand, selling directly to someone who wants your product. Level 2, latent demand. They have the problem, but they haven't really thought about it deeply yet. Your job is to educate them so they realize they need a solution. Level 3, create desire. Make people feel like they belong to a world where your brand exists, and this is what builds real customer identity. Not just customers, but genuine fans. This third level is what turns a simple business into a real market. For example, Casper. Before them, buying mattress was really confusing. Too many options and people felt unsure. So Casper educated people with a simple message. The way we buy mattresses is broken and there's a better way. Their solution was a mattress in a box. Simple. Better sleep, peace of mind. They changed how people thought about the problem. Now take Gong. Before them, sales call happened constantly, but nobody was tracking what was actually being said. No visibility at all. Gong's message was direct. You are flying blind on your sales call. Their solution was a tool that captures every call, gives AI-powered insights, and leads to a better decision and more revenue. They didn't wait for a category to exist. They created an entirely new way to see the problem. Now the last step is distribution. And here's the key idea. Distribution should be based on what already works in your specific space, not generic distribution advice. For example, look at Notion.
They didn't start by making cold sales calls to big companies. Instead, they went exactly where their early users already were. First, communities. People already using Notion, sharing feedback and ideas with each other. Second, could be YouTube tutorials. Creators making videos showing off their workflows, driving organic discovery. Template sharing. Template spreading naturally across blogs, forums, and social media. And by the time big enterprise companies even noticed Notion, it was already the standard everyone around them was using. And here's the one sentence that sums up what we have talked about today. You don't compete in a market, you actually create one.